Hey, what's happening, guys? Jason here. Hope you guys are doing well. Just want to check in and just see how you guys are doing. Kind of update you a little bit what's been going on in my life, but yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, it's January in Minnesota right now, so it's cold and snowy and yeah, but uh, when you use it. Like I went snowboarding last weekend. I went ice fishing yesterday. Going snowmobiling in a couple weeks. So yeah, when you use it, it's more enjoyable. I could just sit inside, complain about you know winter here, which is easy to do. It's very tempting. Most people that live here do complain about the winters, but um, you don't really complain. People don't really complain about it until they're older. Like kids just love it. They play in the snow. They have snowball fights. Make snowman, ice skate. I mean, there's so much to do actually outside, even though it's kind of like on the verge of death sometimes if you're not dressed warm enough for it. But anyways, yeah, it's been a good season. I am looking forward to summer. Just I enjoy summers more, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, I just want to hear from you guys. Like, what's been new with you? What's going well? What are you struggling with? How can I help? Um, and I do want to kind of touch on a topic as well about um, just an analogy about addiction. Ever since a child, I had this skin condition, which is like it's like a rash that shows up randomly all over my body. It's called eczema. Um, and there's still like not an explanation for the root cause of why it happens, and there's actually not a cure for it yet either. There's things that help deal with it, but yeah, I just really see the comparison with this skin rash and addiction, because sometimes we can't even like pinpoint where addiction comes from. There is some obvious causes, but then there's some people like you and I who have dealt with this in our lives, and initially we don't really understand the root cause. Like we're just trying to avoid pain. We're just trying to have fun. We're just trying to enjoy life. And then we end up caught in a trap, you know. And so, anyways, back to like the skin condition is like there is at this point no explanation for it, which is kind of different from addiction because you can pinpoint things when you dig deep enough. You can find the root cause of pain and struggle and why it is we're dabbling with these things or struggling or whatever. But some comparisons though is like this itch. Sometimes I have just like this strong desire to just scratch, to itch this, and we all know what happens. If you guys have bug bites or like poison ivy or whatever, I'm sure even if a lot of you don't have this condition, you can relate. You've had something, some kind of rash or something that itches, and you know better that you should not itch it because it's gonna make it worse. Doesn't actually help anything. But anyways, like so, even to this day, I'll get it off and on, and it's been bad lately. Like I have it like on my arms and my feet right now, and it's like I have this just desire to itch it, and it's like sometimes I don't even have like the desire to itch it. It's like a habit, right? Like where I'll start like rubbing my skin where that rash used to be, and all of a sudden it will start to like feel satisfying. It will feel like, oh, that feels good, and I just need to scratch it more, and like all of a sudden like my skin's raw. I totally just tore up my skin, and it's like opened up. You know, a wound like it's all been opened up, and then the healing process has to start all over again. So not only was it like healed, but I made it into a wound by scratching it, and now I have to deal with the harder parts of it itching again as it's starting to heal, as opposed to already being healed, you know? So, I mean, I can really relate to addiction, guys. Like, how many times do we get that itch, that desire, like we just need that escape, we just need that high, we just need that relief, whatever it might be, you know? And we all know what happens when we satisfy that itch. It's so much worse than a skin condition, you know? It's could obviously could kill us, you know what I mean? And so I just really wanted to make that comparison, like how severe it is, like when we scratch that itch, you know. And the thing is, like, we don't know what we're signing up for, you know. When we do, say you've been free for a while and you decide to jump back into that addiction, and the biggest lie is like one more time, you know. That is seriously the biggest lie. And we think we could just get on the ride and step right off, you know what I mean? But I really like comparing this addiction to like a roller coaster, you know. Like, you step on this thing, man, you don't know when you're getting off. You're on it for the ride, you know what I mean? You think just one more time, and you don't know how long that one more time continues to just take you. Because like when you've created progress, when you've literally like climbed up and got some momentum, you climbed up this mountain of sobriety, and you fall down, like it's so much easier to stay at the bottom, because like you feel like, oh, I'm already here now, like what's one more time? I just did it, why not do it one more time, you know? And like that's what keeps us down there at the bottom when we do fail. And that's why I like comparing this to like when we relapse. It's like getting on a ride, like we're signing up for something we don't even know what we're signing up for. Like, you think it's one more time, you think it's that casual and that laid back, but we all know, those who have struggled with addiction, like that is not true. You know what I mean? It could take us for who knows how long. That one high that you go and reach for can lead to weeks, years of bondage. And of course, like I already mentioned, it could even take our life, you know. So I just really want to emphasize that point, guys, that, you know, don't buy into that lie. Don't buy into that one more time. You know, understand that we're unaware to realize what it is we're about to sign up for, you know. And when we have that severity, when we understand like how crucial it is, we won't be so laxed into like just being willfully just relapsing like casually. Like, we'll understand, like, heck no, man, like this is a big deal, man. Like, I ain't about to do this. It ain't even an option, you know. And even if you do fall, man, like I know sometimes we slip up, man, and we make mistakes. And so I want to address that too. Is like, say you've had some momentum, and say you've climbed up, and you know, like you fall, you slip, you did something dumb, you went back and did it. Like, you don't have to start back over. Like, that's the biggest like defeating thought, is like, if you have a year of sobriety and you relapse, that you got to start all the way over. No, you don't. You can bounce off the bottom, you know what I mean? But there's a very short window to let yourself bounce, because if you stay down there, if you relapse and then you just keep using, like, yeah, then you are going to end up staying down there. But if you like brush yourself off, you know, and you can literally turn that ground where you fell onto into like a trampoline, you know, can propel you back upwards, where you don't have to start over. And if you really use it for the right momentum and the right perspective, you can actually use that to take you to higher heights. You know what I mean? So like, if you fall and you use that to your benefit, you use that with a positive perspective, you can let that grow you. You can take that as a learning experience and let it take you to higher heights than you've been to before, you know. So that's just a couple things I wanted to touch on, guys. And Um, I hope they can resonate with you. With that being said, I do want to share just a couple scriptures that really help. Just comparing like this journey that we're in. Um, is like a race, like it's a journey. Life is a journey. And I remember the last video I made, I talked about like kind of putting off things that weigh us down, and what are we carrying with us that we don't need, and yeah. So the first verse I want to read is it's 1 Corinthians 6:12. It says, all things are lawful to me, but not all things are beneficial. Another version says, all things are permissible to me, but not all things are beneficial. It says, but I will not be dominated by anything, And so Paul is the one who wrote this. He's literally saying like, yeah, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. So like, what are these things that we are doing that are not benefiting us, right? What are these things that we should shut off, right? What are these things that we should no longer have be part of us, right? And yeah, I don't want to go too in depth on that scripture. I want to read this other one first, and then just kind of go from there. But this other one is 1 Corinthians 12, or this next verse is Hebrews 12, starting in verse 1. It says, therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. So guys, we're running a race. This life is a journey. We're in a race towards the finish line, and there's so much more to get into about this, but like, how many know it's a lot easier to run a race without weights tied to us? You know what I'm saying? And if we want to rise to higher heights, say, yeah, drinking is permissible. Like the Bible doesn't say do not drink, It does say don't be drunk. But so let's just say, alcohol is acceptable, but is it beneficial? You know what I mean? Are some of these things you're doing benefiting you? What good are they bringing to you? What benefits or value are they producing in your life? And that's the thing, is like, if you want to go to higher heights, you got to shed weight. You know what I mean? Like, think of like a hot air balloon. Like, that thing's got to be really light. Like, you can't be carrying all this stuff. Like, if we want to rise to higher heights, if we want more success, more fruit from our life, more ability to impact others, to make a difference, to really add value to others through our life, then we have to be as light as possible, and that means shedding off addictions, shedding off pride, shedding off selfishness, shedding off unforgiveness. Man, all these things weigh us down. It's not just addictions, it's not just drugs, like, all of that is just heavy, and like, we need to be as light as possible, and thank God, like, through the power of Christ, like, he gives us that ability to shed these things off, to run this race with ease, even though it's not always easy. Like, life has its challenges, whether you're sober or not, whether you're walking with God or not. Like, there's gonna be difficulties in life, yeah, it's just really cool, man, just sharing these couple scriptures. There's so much more I could get into, but yeah, guys, I just want to encourage you, just to keep that positive perspective, keep on evaluating what it is you're carrying with you, and just let go of things that aren't serving us. So yeah, I know this video is kind of Like always, I say it so much, it's all over the place. But I just want to just share what I got, and just hopefully that helps you guys. Um, yeah, like I said, I want to hear from you guys. Like, what's new? What's happening? What's what's going well? What are you struggling with? I want to hear. I want to be able to help. So please, you guys, be interactive. Like, comment if you got questions. If you not want another video that you want, like a topic you want me to break down a little bit more, like, feel free, guys. So, anyways, I love you. God bless you guys. Hang loose. Peace.